This story is titled, At Sunday Dinner, My Brother Joked, You're the Test Run. We got it right with me. Everyone laughed. Even my dad said, We should have quit while we were ahead. I just smiled and said, Cool, then don't call me when you need a favor. 2 weeks later, they needed one. I said no. What happened next? Tore the family apart. Now they're emailing from burners. We were kidding. Please come back. Typing this from a borrowed air mattress in my coworker's spare room. My hands are still shaking and I haven't slept. Not because I'm sad. I'm just done. Like emotionally leveled. I keep replaying it in my head. This throwaway joke my brother made at Sunday dinner like it was nothing. You're the test run. We got it right with me. Everyone laughed. My dad even chimed in with, We should have quit while we were ahead. Like I was some draft that didn't make it to publication. And I smiled. Said, Cool. Then don't call me when you need a favor. I thought that would be the end of it. But no. 2 weeks later, guess who needed a favor? Let's rewind. I'm Jake, 25th. Older brother to Ryan, 23rd. Golden boy, tech startup intern who wears loafers without socks and gets congratulated for microwaving his own lunch. We grew up close-ish. I mean, I thought we were close until I started realizing that close actually meant I babysat him while our parents worked late and he got to be the one they never yelled at. Subtle things. Stuff like how I'd bring home a B+ and get asked if I was distracted, and Ryan would fail algebra and they'd blame the teacher. Our mom, Carol, is a hard person to describe if you've never had a parent who's both overly involved and never fully present. She's the type who will comment, so proud, on your cousin's engagement post but forget your birthday. Dad, Bill, is more transparent. If you're useful, he's got time for you. If not, you're in his way. I've lived at home since college. Rent's impossible out here and I've been trying to stack savings to move out. That fact, it gets used like a club. You're 25 and still here, my mom likes to say when I don't immediately offer to do dishes. Ryan's already working toward equity, Dad says like he's quoting scripture. So when we're all sitting around the table that Sunday, Mom's roast chicken, Ryan's dumb jokes, Dad in his usual smug glory, I wasn't prepared for that to be the moment they decided to go full brutal. Ryan goes, Honestly, it's wild we even had Jake first. Like, you guys really did a test run. Got all the kinks out and then had me. He laughed, clapped me on the back like it was just boys being boys. My mom did that thing where she covers her mouth but her eyes are laughing. Dad doesn't even try to hide it. We should have quit while we were ahead. Everyone laughs. Except me. I just sat there, fork midair, and said, Cool. Then don't call me when you need a favor. I don't even think they heard me. They laughed harder. That would have been fine. Just another bitter family memory to file under, haha, not really a joke. Except 2 weeks later, I get a call at 11:42 p.m. It's Mom. Jake, sweetie, Ryan's car broke down and your dad's out of town. Can you drive out and pick him up from the side of the highway, please? I looked at my phone, looked at the empty sink I'd just finished cleaning, thought about my own car, which has needed new brakes for 3 months. Then I remembered the laughter, the test run line, the way no one even blinked after. I said, Didn't you guys get it right with Ryan? She went quiet. I said, Cool. Then don't call me when you need a favor. And I hung up. What happened after that? That's where things start to unravel. Because saying no, just once, was enough to make them lose their damn minds. The next morning, my phone had blown up like I'd crashed a wedding. Not just skipped a late-night rescue. Missed calls, group chat explosions. A voicemail from my dad that was just him breathing heavy before growling. Unbelievable. My mom texted, Call me now. My brother, he just sent a single thumbs down emoji. I didn't answer any of them. Not because I wanted to be petty. Okay, a little petty. But because I knew the second I did, they'd twist it. Somehow it'd be about how I overreacted to a harmless joke. How I abandoned family. How it's my fault Ryan's stranded on the shoulder of I-95 like a discount sitcom character. But by noon, it had escalated to full-scale drama. My aunt had messaged me on Facebook, saying, You need to remember where you come from. Like I was an exiled prince who spat in the kingdom's soup. The group chat was chaos. My mom posted a selfie of Ryan finally getting home, thanks to an Uber, not them, and captioned it, Thank God for kind strangers when family can't be bothered. Yeah, that was aimed right at me. It wasn't even about the damn car. It was about control. That night at dinner, they made me the punchline. I pushed back, mildly, and now they needed a scapegoat for everything that came after. But here's the part they didn't expect. I didn't apologize. Not this time. They kept waiting. You could feel it, even through the silence, like a skipped beat in a song you've heard your whole life. Normally, I'd cave. I'd show up with coffee, pretend the tension didn't exist, play IT guy when mom couldn't get her email to load. But I didn't. I stayed ghost. And Ryan? He couldn't handle it. 3 days later, he shows up at my job. Like, at the front desk of the building, telling the receptionist he's just here to talk to Jake. Family stuff. Urgent. I only found out because she texted me, "There's a guy with loafers and too much cologne asking for you." I step out and there he is. Arms crossed, shades on his head, full golden boy posture. "Seriously?" he says. "You're ghosting the whole family over a joke?" I just blinked. "You came to my job? Because you're being a child, Jake. You're blowing this up for attention." And that snapped something in me. I said, "Ryan, for years you've taken and laughed and everyone backed you. I cover for you. Fix your crap, clean up your messes. But I say one line at dinner and now I'm the villain?" He scoffed. "You need to grow up." So I leaned in and said it quiet enough that only he could hear. "Good. Then handle your own life like a grown-up. Starting now." I turned and walked back into the building, left him standing there, stewing in rejection, because for once I wasn't giving him what he wanted. I figured that would be the end of it. I didn't plan revenge. Not at first. But after Ryan showed up at my job and tried to gaslight me into apologizing for not driving 45 minutes to bail him out like his personal Uber, I started thinking differently. Like maybe keeping receipts wasn't so petty after all. Maybe it was survival. So I started digging. Late that night, I pulled up my old email threads, my Venmo history, the shared Google Drive folder my dad never learned how to lock down properly. Every little thing I've done for them over the last few years, I made a list. Not for Reddit. Not for some dramatic confrontation. Just to remind myself that I wasn't crazy. Turns out, I'd co-signed Ryan's first car lease, set up Dad's online banking, filed my mom's taxes 3 years in a row, paid for their internet during COVID when no one else could. I'd booked flights, ordered groceries, fixed passwords, moved furniture, and spent 3 separate holidays alone because someone in the family forgot to tell me plans changed. But somehow I was the problem. That list got long, like 63 items long. I didn't even mean for it to turn into what it did. The thing that broke me, though, buried in my inbox was an email from 3 months ago. "We added you as an emergency contact for Ryan's loan. Just in case. Hope that's okay." I'd forgotten about it, never followed up. But now, I called the lender. Guess what? They hadn't just listed me as a contact. They'd listed me as a cosigner. $18,000 in Ryan's name. And mine. No call. No heads up. Just forged my signature from a scan they had on file from an old lease we signed together years ago. When I tell you I froze, like stomach churning, blood rushing to my face kind of froze, I mean I sat there for 10 full minutes in total silence. That wasn't just insulting. That was illegal. And that was the moment I stopped being sad. Stopped wondering if I was making it worse. Stopped questioning myself. Because this wasn't a family misunderstanding, but it was theft. So I made a backup of everything, uploaded it to a private folder, labeled it Favor Files. I wasn't going to do anything, yet, but I wanted it in one place. The next day, I called a friend from college who owed me a favor, asked if I could crash for a few nights, packed my stuff, left a single envelope on the kitchen counter. Inside, a printed list, every favor, every transfer, every dollar, every login, every moment. In red ink across the bottom, I wrote, "You said don't call if you need a favor. I'm just taking you at your word." Then I walked out. No goodbye, no warning, just silence. Update 1. Okay, so, first off, I didn't expect this many people to read my post, or DM me, or send memes. Like, I posted just to vent, but y'all turned it into a full-blown event, and honestly, thank you. I read every message, even the one that just said, "Jake, burn it all." Sir, you scare me, but I respect you. Second, y'all wanted to know what happened when they realized I was actually gone. Well, buckle in. It took less than 12 hours. By noon the next day, my mom had texted me 15 times, each one escalating like a bad ex. 1. Are you coming back? 2. I don't understand why you're acting like this. 3. You're being childish? 4. This isn't who you are. 5. You need to think about what you're doing to this family. 6. We were kidding. The last one came from a different number, a Gmail burner. Then another text, this time from my dad, who hasn't used full sentences since 2012. "This stunt of yours is hurting your mother. Come back. We can talk, but not if you're going to keep playing victim." Playing victim. Cool. An hour later, my brother posts a blurry picture of our backyard on Instagram with the caption, "Some people forget where they came from." I laughed so hard I choked on my cold coffee. Like, bro, you called me when your smart TV stopped connecting to Netflix. You needed me. My favorite, though, was the family group chat. After 2 days of silence, suddenly it lights up again. My aunt posts a Minions meme. Then my cousin drops a "sending love to everyone." Then my mom jumps in with, "We just want to move forward. Jake, you're always welcome to rejoin the family." I didn't reply. Instead, I posted a screenshot of the loan papers, with both names highlighted. Caption, "Rejoining the family sounds great. Which one of you wants to pay your share of this $18,000? They left the chat. No, literally. My dad removed himself from the group chat. Then my mom did. Ryan just sent a dot. That was 3 days ago. Since then, 3 burner emails, 2 DMS from my mom's yoga friend asking if I'm okay, and 1 voicemail from Ryan where he actually cries. Says he didn't mean it. Says he didn't know about the co-signing. Lies. I haven't responded. I'm still at my friend's place, eating cereal out of a mug and watching my phone like it's a reality show. But I'm not done yet, because if they think the fallout ends here, so apparently the act of leaving quietly, not slamming a single door, not yelling a single, "screw you," is the most violent thing I've ever done. Who knew? Because since that update, they've gone into full damage control mode. Not actual apologizing, mind you. They've just started rewriting the whole story. Suddenly, I'm not the kid they laughed at, or the one they forged documents behind. Nope. I'm emotionally unstable. I'm reactive. I'm distancing myself from family because I can't handle constructive feedback. I found that last gem in a Facebook comment under a casserole recipe my mom posted. Gotta love passive-aggressive digital warfare. But what they didn't count on was this. I wasn't hiding anymore. I started telling people the truth. Not in a dramatic, call the group chat way. Just quiet, controlled honesty. My cousin asked why I hadn't been around. I told her straight. They made me co-sign an $18,000 loan without my consent and then laughed at me when I said no to helping again. She blinked. Then she said, "Wait, what?" Then she screenshot the convo and posted it in the family group chat. Boom. Suddenly, the silence shattered. I wasn't the black sheep anymore. I was the story. People started picking sides. My aunt, who hasn't spoken to me in months, sent me a long Facebook message about how she always thought Ryan got away with too much. My uncle dropped a cryptic comment on one of Ryan's gym selfies. Reputation is like a mirror. Cracks show eventually. And then came the kicker. A lawyer messaged me. Well, not a lawyer exactly. A paralegal who follows me on Instagram. We went to high school together. Total nerd. Now absolute badass. She DMs me. "Hey, saw your post? That cosign thing? If they forged your signature, that's fraud. You can take them to court or at least have it voided." I stared at that message for a long time. I hadn't even considered going that far. But now I'm thinking, why the hell not? They gambled on me staying quiet. They gambled wrong. And in the middle of this emotional typhoon, I realized something else. For the first time in my life, I'm not scared of being the villain in their story, because I've finally stopped trying to be the hero in one that was never written for me. The invite came in a way only my family could deliver drama, with a lie baked in. Subject line: family dinner, let's heal. Body: just dinner. No expectations, just love. Love, huh? This from the people who built a group chat campaign accusing me of sabotaging family peace for not picking up my brother and refusing to bankroll his forged loan. Still, I went, not to make peace, to watch them flinch. It was Sunday. I wore the same flannel I had on during the test run dinner. Petty? Sure. Intentional? Absolutely. I walked in with a manila folder in one hand and a lemon pie I bought from Trader Joe's in the other. Because even in the apocalypse, you bring dessert. The table was already set. Mom had her peacemaker sweater on, the one she always wears when she wants credit for not screaming. Dad was at the head like he didn't spend the last week hiding behind burner Gmail accounts. Ryan was there too. No socks, as always. "Jake," Mom said, like I'd just risen from the grave. I nodded. Saturday said nothing. For a moment, it was almost normal. Roast chicken, mashed potatoes, the sound of glassware clinking and nobody making eye contact. Then Mom cleared her throat and said, "We're glad you came. We just want to move forward." I took a bite of chicken, chewed, swallowed, then said, "Cool, me too. Let's start with this." And I slid the manila folder across the table. Inside, a printed copy of the loan document with my forged signature, highlighted in yellow. Next to it, a notarized affidavit from the paralegal friend. Below that, my new contact at the fraud division of the credit union. Ryan actually blanched, like blood drained, choked on air blanched. My dad leaned forward and said, "What the hell is this?" I smiled. "Accountability. You said I shouldn't play victim, right? So now I'm just playing defense." Mom opened the folder, scanned the top page, and whispered, "Oh my God." I let the silence breathe. "I'm giving you 48 hours to call the bank and fix it. Otherwise, I press charges. And you know what happens then? It's not just about credit. It's criminal. You'll be lucky if all you lose is a car." Ryan tried to speak. I held up a hand. "I don't want an apology. I don't want a speech. I want my name off that loan." My dad, red-faced, hissed, "You're tearing this family apart." I shrugged. I'm just refusing to let you tear me apart anymore." I stood, grabbed my pie, untouched, and walked out. Didn't slam the door. Didn't look back. But I swear to God, as I pulled away from that house, I could still hear my brother's voice cracking in the kitchen like glass under pressure. I gave them 48 hours. They used 36 to blow up my life. Monday morning, I woke up to a text from my boss. "Hey, just a heads up. Someone called HR claiming you were unstable and threatened your family." I shut it down but thought you should know. Guess who? Yup, my dad. He actually tried to get me fired. Said I was emotionally volatile and potentially dangerous. Claimed I was making threats at family dinner and planning something big, like I was the freaking Unabomber, because I showed up with a manila folder and boundaries. HR didn't take it seriously, thank God. My boss has known me long enough to call BS. But still, the humiliation of even being discussed like that, rage doesn't even begin to cover it. Then came the group text. This one, sent from my mom's new number, because apparently she changed hers overnight. Yes, really? It said, "We are heartbroken. You're letting internet strangers hype you into destroying your own family. You used to be kind. Now you're vindictive. This isn't who you are, Jake." Then came another. "Please just come back. Let's forget this happened. We'll figure out the loan. You're not yourself lately." And then, 2 hours later, from Ryan, "You made your point. Are you happy now? You ruined mom." I didn't respond, but I did post a photo to Instagram. It was the loan document. Redacted names. No caption. Just one emoji. Coffee. That post got shared 13 times. A cousin commented, "Did they really do this?" An old family friend DM'd me, "Jake, you're not crazy. I remember how they treated you growing up." Someone I didn't even know messaged, "Hey man, I'm estranged from my family too. Respect for standing your ground." But the one that hit the hardest, a burner email from my mom. Subject line, "Please just undo it. Body. If you care about us at all, you'll call the bank and say it was a misunderstanding. Your dad could lose everything. I can't go through that. Please, Jakey, be the bigger person." That last part? That was it. Be the bigger person. I have always been the bigger person. Bigger than the jokes. Bigger than the betrayals. Bigger than the silence. Bigger than the forged documents and the whispered insults and the family photos I was cropped out of. No more. All right, y'all. Second update. Didn't think I'd be back this soon, but here we are. Some of you asked if I was bluffing about Thanksgiving. Number I wasn't. See, every year, Thanksgiving is the event in our family. We're not rich, but we act like it that one day. Fold-out tables, mismatched chairs, 20 people crammed into a too-small dining room. There's always a toast, some bad wine, and a slideshow on the TV my mom insists on doing. Photos of us growing up, cheesy music, the whole thing. This year, I decided to submit my own edition. You know, for closure. I got there late, on purpose. Wore a black button-down. Brought a store-bought pumpkin pie and a smile I did not mean. Everyone looked at me like I was a ghost. My aunt hugged me too long. Ryan avoided eye contact. My mom said, "Glad you came," in that voice people use when they're bracing for a hurricane. I waited, bided my time. When the slideshow started, I said, "Mind if I play something before that?" My mom hesitated. I said, "It's a tribute. For the family. Won't take long." She nodded. I plugged in the USB drive and played a 4-minute video. Background music? Everybody's got something to hide except me and my monkey, just for flair. What was on it? Screenshots. The forged signature on the loan. The text from my mom. "You're not yourself lately." The voicemail from Ryan telling me to stop playing victim. My dad's HR stunt outlined in bullet points. A final slide that read, "If this is love, what's war?" Silence. Literal. You could hear the mashed potatoes. Settling silence. My mom stood, said, "Turn it off." I didn't. My cousin burst out laughing. My uncle whispered, "Jesus Christ." Ryan said, "You're insane." I said, "You forged my name. You tried to wreck my job. And now I'm the villain because I won't quietly disappear? Nah, not anymore." Then I unplugged the drive, picked up my pie, and walked out. Didn't even stay for dinner. Later that night, I got a text from my mom. "You've made your point. You've embarrassed us enough. Please stop." I didn't reply. Not because I'm trying to hurt them, but because I already did. With nothing but truth and a flash drive. Thanksgiving cracked the foundation. Now they're trying to tape it back together with burner emails, and we were just joking texts. But I can tell. They're spiraling. The story's slipping out of their control. I'm not the problem child anymore. I'm the whistleblower with receipts, and they are terrified. See, they forgot something. This family doesn't just live in private. They perform. Church people, HOA meetings, Facebook albums tagged #blessed. My mom's whole identity is being the put-together matriarch. My dad plays respectable dad of the year. And Ryan? He built his whole internship image on family values. So when I dropped the truth bomb on Thanksgiving, I didn't just piss them off. I shattered their performance. Apparently, word got around. My cousin Emma messaged me. "Your mom tried to say you were struggling mentally, but everyone saw the slideshow. People are low-key pissed." Aunt Margot said she always knew Ryan was shady. My uncle, who hasn't texted me in years, emailed, "Your father never should have done that. You deserved better." Even the paralegal friend texted, "I think you just exposed 3 decades of family rot in 4 minutes." Iconic. But the fallout? Oh, it hit hard. Ryan lost his temp job. Apparently, the HR department felt uneasy. after someone emailed them anonymously about his ethics. I didn't do it, but I didn't cry either. My dad stopped posting on Facebook altogether. First time in years there's no family Christmas countdown. No grateful for my crew post. Just radio silence. Mom? She finally cracked. Last night, she left a voicemail. You could hear the whine in her voice. Not drunk exactly. Just broken. Software tired. I didn't know how far it had gone, Jake. I thought you'd always come back. You always did. Then she said the words I never thought I'd hear. I think we really lost you this time. And you know what? She's right, because I finally see it. The years of being the fixer, the fallback, the one who shows up after they burn the house down and gets blamed for the ashes. They never wanted me as a son. They wanted me as a spare, but I'm not a spare anymore. I'm done fixing what I didn't break. It's been 3 weeks. 3 quiet, surreal, glorious weeks. No more calls, no more guilt texts, no more being summoned like a family butler. They finally got it. I'm gone. Not on vacation, not taking space. Gone. As in, you don't get to borrow me anymore. But last night, I got a letter, an actual envelope, handwritten, no return address, postmarked from a city 2 hours away. Inside, a single line. We miss you. Come home. It wasn't signed, but the handwriting was my mom's. They still don't get it. They still think this is home. That's some sad little olive branch with no real apology, no accountability, no repair. Just the soft echo of, we miss you, is enough to undo years of being treated like a trial version of the son they actually wanted. It's not. You don't get to erase the gaslighting, the forged signature, the public humiliation, the subtle erasure from every family celebration with a 6-word note. You don't get to burn the bridge and then act shocked there's no path back. And me? I've changed more in these 3 weeks than I did in years with them. I got a new apartment, signed my own lease, set up my own utilities, bought my first couch. Not handed down, not left over, mine. I breathe differently now. Like I'm not waiting for the next guilt trip or sarcasm bomb to detonate under the dinner table. Like I don't have to earn my worth by fixing broken routers and broken siblings. And yeah, sometimes it's lonely. But you know what? Lonely is better than being someone's emotional punching bag with a smile. Because the truth is, and this is the part I never wanted to admit, part of me still wanted them to love me the way they claimed they did. But now I know. They loved what I did for them, not who I was. And that's not love. That's a job. And I quit.